Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. I have an important message today. I hope you'll stay with me to the end. I'd like to dedicate this Meaningful Monday to Bruce Linger, a good friend of mine. He lost his wife to cancer a year ago this last August 8th. On the anniversary date, he had some inspiration. He wrote about it, and he shared it with his friends and family on Facebook. May I share with you what he said? He said, "I can't believe it's been a year today since I lost my wife, Nilda. I know she is with us every day." Interesting story. When cleaning out a drawer, I found a message stone with the word courage and try to carry it with me every day. Sometimes I forget to take it. Then I find it. Sometimes I misplace it. I fret about it, think about it, and then I find it. It all came to focus today. This really is a life lesson that I was learning. Not about the stone, but about courage. Courage. Sometimes we may lose it or misplace it for a while. But if you don't give up looking for it, you'll always find it and move forward. I believe this is Nilda's gift to all her family, friends, and all who miss her. I'm just fortunate to have the stone to remind me. Thank you, Nilda. And thank you, Bruce, for sharing that and for sharing some of the experiences of Nilda's journey with cancer. And certainly I've been inspired by her courage. You know, I carry a stone in my pocket as well. I carry one to remind me of gratitude. Not just being grateful, but to do gratitude. There's a difference. Sometimes I misplace it. Sometimes I forget about it. And when I forget about it, I fret about it. And then I think about it. And then if I don't give up, I find it again. A couple of weeks ago, Lori and I were taking a free day right in the middle of the week. We went to Cracker Barrel, our favorite restaurant. We went to sit down, and right across the aisle from me, I did something I've never done before because I've always done this anonymously for years. Our family's done it anonymously. But I watched the waitress come up and place the bill on the table. And I looked at this man, and I had a prompting that said, pay for his breakfast. So I walked over and I picked the bill up and I said, "I'll take care of this for you." And he says, "Wait, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, would you be willing to allow me to take care of this for you?" And he says, "No," he says, "I can pay for it." And then Lori chimed in and kind of explained, this is something that we do because we enjoy doing it. We've done it many times. Would you be willing to let us do it for you today? And he paused, and you could tell it meant something to him. I don't know what it meant, but he was touched by it. He looked up and he said, "Well, I guess I get to pay it forward. Thank you." And then he had this big grin on his face. He got up, he walked a few paces, he turned around and looked at us and smiled. Like, wow, I don't believe these people. And he walked a little further and looked at us and smiled. And we felt so good. We were doing gratitude. It felt good. Fast forward to the afternoon. We're at the store, just picking up a few things. And I witness a man, and he's pushing, imagine in your own mind, an elderly man bent way over. And in this hand, he's pushing the grocery cart, and every once in a while, reaching out and putting something in it. In this hand, he's pulling a chair, a wheelchair, with his wife in it. I think he loves her a lot. He was going so slow. And I was so impressed by it, but I got the same urge that I'd gotten earlier. I felt an urge to go over there and say, very politely, "Would you allow me to push your grocery cart while you push your wife? And we'll go through this together?" But I ignored it. I got all the way up to the front. I misplaced my gratitude. I got all the way up to the front cashier, mentioned it to Lori, and she says, "Well, of course, go do that." And then I gave her reasons why we shouldn't do it. It doesn't matter what they were, I came up with them. It bothered me terribly. To this day, it bothers me. But I'm so grateful that it bothers me, because the old Lee, if I went back 10 or 15 years, I probably would have never even seen that man, let alone remembered him, let alone be inspired that the next time I get that urge, I am not going to ignore it. So thank you. That's my gratitude that I do get those urges now. And I'm grateful that I have the mindset that will allow me to move forward. You know, doesn't matter whether it's courage or gratitude, they're kissing cousins. They work together. And I didn't have the courage in that moment. I had misplaced it. But I fretted about it, and I thought about it, and I looked for it, and I found it. I wish those two stories were reversed so that I could tell you that I found it, but they weren't. We can misplace it at any given time. So it takes practice, it takes consciousness. So that's my message for this week. I hope that you take the meaning from it that I intend for you to take. The same meaning that I'm taking for myself. I've got a lot of work to do. And that's what makes life interesting, and that's what makes life worth living. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.